Hi, this is State Representative Josh Bashine, and welcome back to another episode of Have You Heard About the 63rd? As we finish our series on tourism and recreation, we're going to head across the river here to Brady's Bend. We're going to learn about some storied historical histories and some of the great things you can see in this small town.
My name is Kelly Folta, and I am the director of Experience Armstrong. So today we're going to be spending the day in Brady Bend Township. We're going to be visiting the St. Stephen's Old Stone Church, and then we'll be going to the Brady Bend Township building to see some remains of the coke furnaces. We're going to take a look at the old mail cart and some of the photos and artifacts held in the township building.
Excellent. So a very historical tour today.
Very historical tour, not something that most people have been able to see for a while. The St. Stephen's Church has been shut down for a few years. It is one of the 15 places in the county on the registry. It is actually on the registry only because of its architectural style. It was done in the Gothic revival style with the high towers. It has the steep roofs, a lot of the tall windows. This building actually is made of sandstone, which is not typically used, and so that is what put it on the registry. So when I learn about all these things and the historical value, what kind of information like that can I take to Harrisburg with me? So one of the biggest things that we have in this area is a problem with funding. So with tourism and historical things, most of the budget tends to go to bigger organizations, bigger places within the state. By the time it comes to the smaller counties, such as Armstrong, we don't get nearly the percentage of budgeting that other DMOs get. So we have to work on a very, very small budget. By doing that, we're not able to fully represent the county and the beauty that it has because we aren't able to keep places like this, St. Stephen's, open year-round or even open to keep people coming in. So we would love to start doing historical tours where people can come to the buildings, but in order to do that, we need some budgeting and financial help to allow us to do that.
Excellent. Budgeting is important. You have to keep this stuff up. With the age of some of these buildings and others, you're on a time limit.
We are. So with this building itself being closed for a few years, there have been some problems with the Historical Society keeping it open. So they have let their nonprofit status lapse. So that is something that they have been working on. There is a big initiative within this town and starting out in the county to help bring this building back to its original state and to help boost history. So we have, as of right now, 5 historical societies in Armstrong County. This would put us back at our 6th historical society. And history is one of those things that as time goes on, people are not as interested in as they were before. So even people that are local to the area still aren't seeing what the county itself has to offer.
Yeah, there's great benefits. Not only can you go outside and visit these places, but you also learn something. So when it comes to the Historical Society, the people that help you and the volunteers and just everyone back home, what would be your message to them?
History is something we can't afford to lose from various angles. We are raising the future generations who don't know the history of our small towns or understand where exactly they're living and what struggles people went through. So that's a big thing right there. Another change has been the use of social media, phones, and things like that. People are Googling bigger locations and not seeing what the small places can have to offer. So helping to promote those and get those off the ground. I am helping with this society as a personal project, but as far as Experience Armstrong goes from a tourist perspective, I would absolutely love for this place to be open on weekends or something that we can create a tour with all of the historical societies in the county that people can take a whole day and travel from society to society. So we're not just focusing on one area, we're promoting history countywide.
Excellent. I think that's an excellent vision, and I'm excited for our tours today. So thank you very much, and let's get going.
You're welcome. All right.
I'm from Brady's Bend. I'm a life member of the Historical Society, and I've worked at it for many, many years here. My husband and I, we kept it up for a good many years.
I'm Janice Hamburg. My sister was the president of the Historical Society for many years. I was a member, lifetime member. She was very passionate, and that's why she created this. She thought Spark Circus was so exciting, and it was, but it came from a little town of East Brady. And I still live in Brady Bend Township. So, and I like circuses too. So. But this just pretty much explains it. The man started it he was born in 1863. And I guess by 1881 was touring the territories with his dog pony show. We are cleaning because this building sat for almost 4 years, nothing done. And they had quilt shows here, plenty of stuff from the quilt shows, but it's deteriorated. So it just needs cleaned up. So we're trying to get more people interested because it's hard. You have to get younger people to get interested. We sold books at the flood for the book for the 45th anniversary. We sold the remaining books for the Historical Society. So
we had a book for the Historical Society we made up. Plus, we also had 2 or 3 books for the cemeteries around. And then we had people come and they would sell quilts items here. But we had our quilts lined up all around this room here. And Debbie had them all lined up and who made them and the names of them and everything. And we sold some of the quilts for them. It was a good time when we had it.
Here we are in Brady's Bend, Pennsylvania, standing in front of the remains of the blast furnaces from the Great Western Iron Works. I played on these iron furnaces whenever I was young. We had a camp on top of the one that I'm standing in front of. To the side of it, the sandstone structure, it is incredible how they cut it at an angle, the sandstones, to form a triangle on the side where the combustion air went through to feed the blast furnace. Now right here at this blast furnace, I had a great uncle who lost his life here when a boiler exploded in the 1800s. I don't know all the details about it except that he was 19 years and so many months old when it happened. I am now holding what's called Ghost Rails 2. It's about the Western Allegheny Railroad that ran. At one time, it came clear down to approximately where we are standing and went clear to Newcastle at one time. And it came about the same time that the iron furnaces came in. Right here in this book, it shows a good side view of the iron furnaces, showing that triangle, how the stone was cut on an angle. It's very difficult to cut sandstone as it is, let alone cut it on an angle. And also there's a picture here of Brady's Bend in the 1870s showing the blast furnaces and the buildings around here. And the one house pictured in here is still in Brady's Bend as of we are standing here today, but it was moved across Route 68 in 1954. After the closing of the ironworks here in the early turn of the century in the 1900s, they opened up the limestone up the road here. Actually, how it came about was Andrew Carnegie come up here and got some of the people that had coal mines, were supposed to be the best coal miners in the area, and he had them see if they could figure out how to economically mine the limestone seams, which are quite abundant up the road here. And so they did, and then probably in the 1920s, I am guessing, Andrew Carnegie bought the limestone off of the Fraser brothers who opened it, and it became Carnegie stone, which was Carnegie steel, which became U.S. Steel.
Thank you for watching this episode of Have You Heard About the 63rd? Join us next week as we start our great Back to School series.